No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas. My name is BJ Rains. This is Lithia Ford of Boise, a pregame show getting you set for the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. And, of course, the great Abe Jackson is with us to kick off the show here. Abe, how we doing, man?
Good. You waited all year to drop the great for the tournament. I like it. I think
I've said that before.
I don't know. Sounded good, though.
Conference tournament. We've had great games going on today.
Oh, man.
First 2 games already gone to overtime. Yeah. And this one looking like it's going to be a good one as well.
No, all the hype about the Mountain West tournament coming in as been one of the best ones to watch in the country hasn't disappointed today. 2 overtime games, and the favorite did come out on top. Well, maybe not the favorite in the seeding, since San Diego State was a 5 and UNLV was a 4. But I think everyone, probably had San Diego State as a favorite. And the teams that you expect are moving on, but in a close fashion.
What's 2 overtime games we said? But we expected this, right? This tournament, we said, it's going to be the craziest Mountain West tournament ever. And then sure enough, first 2 games go to OT.
Yeah, not a lot of upsets, but some OT thrillers for sure.
There was a 10-point game at the half. This one is Nevada and Colorado State going on behind us. We got a nice little spot here in the concourse. Crazy ending there, though. They called a foul with 0.3 seconds left.
Yeah, well, Colorado State was up 15 with about 20 seconds to go in the half, and then there was a bucket by Nevada and then a foul with 0.3 seconds left on a heave from half court for Colorado State. Got the foul, so Nevada hit 3 free throws. So Nevada went on a 5-0 run to close the half.
Hey, as always, get your score predictions in, your comments in. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout-out. And closest with the score prediction tonight is going to get a $20 gift card to our friends over at Taco Bell. Abe Jackson, you'll hear him and Bob coming up in about 30 minutes over on KBOI, only on the AM side for the tournament, I believe, right?
I think so.
670 AM KBOI. You can hear him at about half an hour of the show. That'd be at 9 p.m., I guess, back in Boise, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a late one tonight. Kind of interesting with this one because both those games went to overtime. They started that game with no fans in the stands.
Well, they started it on time. And so I think when I walked in, I saw 24 minutes on the clock for Colorado State and Nevada to warm up, and hardly any fans were in here because they had to get the different sessions. They had to get one team and group out, and then they had to let the others in. But it's filled in pretty nicely in there. The bottom bowl's pretty much full. I'd say the top bowl is maybe about 25%.
You've played in conference tournaments. You know what it takes. You were telling me before we started, you got to a championship game your freshman year.
Yeah.
3 games in 3 days. What does it take for Boise State this week to get it done?
Well, I think that one thing is that you have to stay healthy. I mean, really, a lot of times when it comes to tournament play, the healthiest team is the one that can go on without any bumps and bruises. You have to be able to knock down shots as well. You're not going to be able to get through a tournament if you don't shoot the ball well. But then I think the most important thing is that your studs have to show up. I mean, Jaden Ledee, the player of the year in the conference, had 34 and 16 in their game that went to overtime earlier against UNLV. Great Osobor and Brown, they had really good games for Utah State. So your studs have to show up and play if you want to win a tournament.
By the way, Nevada already storming back, has now cut it to 3 early in the second half. So we'll keep monitoring that game as well. By the way, does it matter at all for you matchup-wise for Boise State tomorrow, Colorado State or Nevada?
No, not really. If I had to choose, I would probably choose Colorado State. Because I just don't think they have as many weapons. They might have the best weapon in Isaiah Stevens, but I don't think they have as many as Nevada. But at this point, you win a tournament game, and especially the conference this year. There were some other years that you're like, okay, I would rather see them than them because they're much better than this other. Right now, you win a game and you move on. Whoever's there is going to probably be an NCAA team.
I was thinking that during the first half, Nevada's reward for being the 2 seed was playing a team going to the NCAA tournament in Colorado State.
Right, exactly. I mean, Boise State's going to have to beat 3 teams. Well, maybe not New Mexico if Boise State beats them, but 3 teams that are going to go to the postseason somewhere, and 2 of them probably the NCAA tournament.
What do you make of this matchup? Boise State, New Mexico. New Mexico looked pretty darn good yesterday against Air Force.
They did, and what worries me about New Mexico is, one, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It just is. You've seen them so much, and you've beat them twice throughout the year, and I don't think Jalen House is going to go 2 for 12 or 2 for 13. He's been 4 for 25 in the 2 games that Boise State has played. I don't think he's going to shoot that poor against the Broncos. But what worries me about New Mexico is that I think them, out of any team in the conference, has the ability to get hot. Mashburn, House, Dent, Toppin. These are guys that can be really streaky. And if they hit it at the right time, which is a lot of times what you need in a conference tournament, they can be tough.
I think a lot of people have said maybe just pure talent. New Mexico might have the best in the league. They just haven't been able to put it all together.
They have the best pair of jump shooters in the league. That's for sure, in Mashburn and House. And when you're a jump shooting team and you have guys like that, you can go out. You can get hot. And it's hard to stop because we've seen it with Abo. When he's on fire, there's not a lot you can do defensively when you get on fire as a jump shot shooter.
And we've seen Donovan Dent maybe be one of the best guys in terms of getting to the rack in the league as well.
Yeah, I was talking to your buddy from New Mexico,
Jeff Grammer.
Jeff Grammer, and I said, why don't they run Dent more pick and rolls? And they said they did it earlier in the season and teams adjusted, and then they kind of went away from it. I would think that they would run more of that because he did it at New Mexico in the pit when he had 31 against the Broncos. There was about 3 or 4 possessions in a row that he just drove into the paint and then no one could stop him, and he's such a good finisher. Then he had the full length layup against, forget who it was, at home that sent it to overtime, I believe, for New Mexico. But anyway, Dent is one of the best players that get into the hoop, and they got some great jump shooters as well. So it's going to be a tough one.
He's Abe Jackson. Again, you'll hear him and Bob Beeler coming up in about 25 minutes on KBOI. The size factor, though, Richard Pitino talked about it after the game when I talked to him the other day. We're going to hear a bite from him in a minute. But, I mean, they got their guards are good, but they're smaller. And, again, they've missed some shots, as you said. I think it's actually even worse. 4 of 27, I believe it is for House.
That's what that is.
But yes, they missed some open shots. But Abo had 12 rebounds in the last game against them. Max Rice, 6'5", Abo, 6'6", 6'7". I mean, it does seem like Boise State at the guard position in these 2 matchups has had a good size advantage.
Yeah, and the size advantage is there. And, they've been working really hard coming across those screens and getting a hand up on the jump shots and creating hard shots for those jump shooters. But I think maybe even more importantly, and then guarding them right away or so much on them, is to get your guards rebounding the ball. Broncos can dominate on the glass when their guards just have really free reign. In Mashburn and House, they're not going to get physical with Abo and with Max, and probably not even with Roddy either. I mean, Roddy's either the same size, but I think much more aggressive than those two players as well. So I think the rebound margin, it could be big for the Broncos.
I think it's 83 points in his last 3 games against New Mexico for Max Rice. He had 30 last year at home, 35 at the Pit, and I think it was 16 at the game in Boise last week. What is it about Max Rice and facing New Mexico?
You know, there's just some teams where you thrive, and I don't know. It happened when I played. For me, it was Cal Poly. I don't know why. I seem to always play well against Cal Poly, and then pretty bad against Irvine whenever we would play them. So who really knows why? But I think some of that height is one thing, is that when you're playing against someone smaller, you just don't need that extra bit of space to get your shot off, or you don't need that extra bit of space if you're backing them down. Max can actually attack going to the hoop and his post-ups instead of fading away. So those things, the height, the size, I think that helps in getting your shot off and in post-ups.
Yeah, Max did that a couple times backing down House in that game the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they actually throw a double team at Max, because he did have a couple buckets inside, and you try and get the ball out of the guy's hand, whether it's a big post player backing down or if it's a guard that's just outsized your guy.
What do you make of Boise State in there? You know, I kind of said if they win, I didn't kind of say it. I said this morning on my morning show, if Boise State wins tonight, they will win this tournament. I believe this is the game that's going to the nerves, the New Mexico, whatever. I believe if they win tonight, I would feel really good about the next 2 games for Boise State, regardless of who they play. That we talked about earlier, but that first game in the tournament, why is it sometimes the hardest?
Well, you know, there's a little bit of extra pressure. I mean, you're in a tournament setting, but what's not there for pressure this year is winning to get to the NCAA tournament. So many times the Broncos have come here to Vegas saying, okay, we have to get 1 win. We got to get 1 win to get into the NCAA tournament, or get 2 wins. That's a little bit of extra pressure. That's not there this year. Now, are you going to be a 6 seed if you win, 5 seed, or are you going to be an 8 or a 9 seed if you don't get the job done? So the pressure's off to get to the NCAA tournament, but there is something there with the tournament setting. And I said that's advantage, not to win the game, but advantage New Mexico. They played, Artie. They got those jitters out. They had a great game against Air Force, and it scored a lot of points.
And Boise State has seen this in this very 3-6 game. Sam Merrill had 35 against them a couple years ago. Tim Duryea's last win, I think, as Utah State coach. But they get to play. Somebody asked if Boise State got to practice in Thomas and Mack Center. No, they didn't. And so there were 4 games today. There were games all day yesterday.
And the women's tournament was there.
So I think that, by the way, somebody says, I actually agree with BJ on that. Rare. What's up, Abe? So we appreciate that, Todd.
All right,
but I think that there's something to them. I saw Jalen House out there last night dancing, had his swagger back when they were crushing Air Force.
Yeah.
And they come in with, I say nothing to lose. I mean, they do. They have to win this game to get into the NCAA tournament. But Boise State's been
have to win a couple to get in.
Boise State's been sitting around for over 48 hours in Las Vegas waiting to play. There's 3 teams in this tournament that will have played 2 games by the time Boise State plays 1 tonight.
Yeah, but what kind of eases my mind about that stuff is we've talked about it on almost every single show that we've done, BJ's, is the veterans on this team. I mean, the veteran coaching staff, the veteran players. I mean, I can't think of a game where they just came out and were like, they didn't really have it. At Colorado State, at Utah State before the bye, those were probably the most worn down games that I've seen them. If the Broncos are fresh, they're playing well, they came off a huge win against San Diego State, there's not a lot that really flusters this team. So maybe they'll have some rough patches just like any other game. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about the Broncos.
I got another stat for you, Abe. 30, now not your age, 30 offensive rebounds in the 2 games against New Mexico for Boise State. 17 the other night, 13 at the Pit. Abo had some. Stanley, obviously Degenhardt. How big is the glass, and in particular the offensive end, going to be for Boise State?
Well, I guarantee you when the coaches are looking at the stats, both coaching staffs probably circled that offensive number. Our coaching staff saying, guys, here's what we can do. We have the size advantage pretty much 1 through 5 in this game. And then New Mexico's coaching staff circled saying, this is what we have to stop. We have to be better at this. And so it'll be interesting to see the adjustments. And those are about the minor adjustments that you're going to get in a game when you see someone for the 3rd time. The teams are who they are right now. The players are who they are. You might throw in a little bit of an extra inbounds play or some sort of press that maybe you haven't seen, but you know the players, the staff know every player that's on the team. So it's going to come down to really who can knock down shots and then who can get stops.
Is the rumor true that we might see an Abe Jackson appearance at the BNN pool party tomorrow?
It is true. I even brought my swimsuit.
There we go. If you're wanting to see Abe Jackson, will you charge for autographs tomorrow, or are you going to let that go to tomorrow?
I'll let that one go. It's a special day.
Abe Jackson's going to be there. We hope you guys will come tomorrow. I know it might Weather's not super great, might be a little cloudy, but we're going to power through. The pools are heated. It's going to be a good time. Final thing, Abe, just your keys for Boise State tonight.
Well, rebounding, I think, is key. I mean, you could say that about every game, but when you have the advantage in size, like they do from the 1 through 5 position, you have to take advantage of that. And then 2, your studs got to show up. You have to. To win a tournament, your studs have to play like the best players on the court, and that's Degenhart and Stanley leading the way. And then in the supporting roles, you have Max and Abo. Those 4 guys play their just regular game. I think that the Broncos are going to get a win.
Appreciate it, Abe. We'll be listening about 20 minutes over on KBOI. Abe Jackson, Bob Ehler on the call. Johnny Ballgame, what a treat. He has stopped by the set. He is going to join us here in 90 seconds. Johnny Ballgame's thoughts on this one coming up. Don't go anywhere. Getting you set for Boise State and New Mexico, quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament. We're back on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show here in 90 seconds.
All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com.
And yes, we are back here on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. You never know who you're going to see walking around the concourse.
A lot of big timers here, BJ.
Well, you're one of them. We saw you walking by, and you're nice enough to join us for a few minutes. How are you enjoying your stay in Vegas here,
It's been a long day, but I love every second of it, right? I mean, the first 2 games of the Mountain West tournament today both go to overtime, right? Just classics. And New Mexico, right? I'm sorry, Colorado State and Nevada are just in a dogfight out there. This place is awesome. I mean, BJ, obviously, you probably told everybody just in the concourse at Thomas and Mack, fans walking around wearing gear of their teams. It's like the Mountain West all coming together to watch a lot of basketball. And the crowds, BJ, we've been to these tournaments before.
Yeah.
It hasn't been this festive.
No,
I think it's a sign of how tough this league, how exciting, entertaining this league was this year, BJ. So we're seeing it here. This is sweet.
Me and Jaden got here in time to see the last couple minutes in overtime of the San Diego State game.
Oh, nice.
And it was as energetic and loud as I've seen it in a while there. Man, when D-Don Thomas hit that shot to go to overtime, you said you were in the Circa Sportsbook.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it went crazy, obviously, because you have in the sportsbook, half the people are excited, then half the people are going, oh. You have
most of them don't even like the team. They just want the money. They have the bet.
Yeah, they got the ticket.
Although this was UNLV, so probably some hometown flavor there.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz in the sportsbook for that one.
That was a great game. Overtime, San Diego State advances. Utah State, San Diego State in the first quarterfinal. That'll be a great game.
All right. I mean, that's what you want. As much as I know Boise State fan might have loved to see Utah State go down to Fresno, and they could have, should have, would have if Brown wasn't the clutchest player in America this year, bailing them out and does a great job.
I thought that last shot was going in before overtime.
Me too. But hey, man, San Diego State, Utah State, you want that in these games. At least I do. I want the best 4 teams playing tomorrow night, and Boise State, New Mexico for the nightcap. We'll see which one of those.
I thought about bringing a sign, Johnny, since we're doing the show here, and putting it up with my power rankings going into the tournament.
You know what? You abandoned your power rankings.
I told Jaden he may need to stand behind me and be security here because some Utah State fan or New Mexico fan is going to come up behind me with a club and just take it.
You're getting some dirty looks. I mean, all these these guys behind us, you guys, all Lobos fans. Like the Lobos don't play for another hour, and they've already taken over Thomas and Mack. There's more New Mexico fans, I hate to say this, but maybe than every other fan base combined.
What do you make of the matchup, man?
I
New
love
Mexico, Boise State.
I love it. I want to see if Boise State can continue the blueprint, right? The recipe that they've had to handle New Mexico. You said it earlier on Idaho Sports Talk. New Mexico, to win this, has to shoot really well, right? Shoot them out of it. Shoot. Don't worry about the fact that, their Boise State's a lot bigger and stronger. Make your shots, get good shots. And who knows what Boise State shooting is going to show up. There was a time this year where they were the last place field goal percentage shooting team in the league. They're not anymore. I don't know what they finished with, but I think it was in the upper half, BJ.
Max Rice, man.
Love him.
It just seems like destiny, doesn't it, that this guy's going to go out the right way and do something special, whether it's this week or next week. I mean, doesn't it just feel like that's going to happen?
It does, man. Max is dialed in. He is. Max is ready for this. Max has been to this before, and I don't know if Max is going to be aggressive tonight or if he's going to let it come to him. Sometimes you'll see in Tyson the other thing. Tyson's the same way. Sometimes Tyson will be aggressive from the get.
There's a Boise State fan right
and
there.
And then sometimes Tyson, BJ, he'll let everybody else get involved. For me, my X factor is Buzo, because Buzo's had tremendous success against New Mexico. He's like the one guy. They don't have an answer defensively for Buzo because he's as athletic as any of their guards. BJ, 6'7", 6'8", built like an NBA dude. Tough matchup. I want to see Buzo. Can I say another double-double? Buzo, I don't believe, has had a double-double since they played New Mexico last.
Yeah.
Buzo, double-double tonight, all over it.
He had 12 rebounds in that game.
Got to stay out of foul trouble, though, Buzo. Can't be the guy who picks up the 2 early fouls like we've seen in the past.
Same with Stanley. They need Stanley on the court tonight.
Yeah, that's all part of the ingredients in the crock pot of disaster, right? Buzo or Omar get 2 fouls early. Nobody's shooting well. Tyson and Max are letting it come to them. And then all of a sudden, you're down 12 at some point. And you're like, whoa, they got to get this going. The luxury, though, is aren't you kind of playing with house money? I mean, I know no one wants to hear that an hour or whatever before tip-off, right? But aren't you kind of playing with house money in this thing? It's not the end of the world if you lose tonight.
No, certainly
Clark Kellogg said on Idaho Sports Talk today that he thinks even if Boise State wins this tournament, there's not much room to move up on the seed lines. I mean, maybe 1, maybe 2. But, I mean, I don't know if Boise State's thinking, hey, if they win this, they're going to be a 5 seed. I don't know. I mean, it'd be better to win it than not. Don't get me wrong.
I do personally agree that, like, by tomorrow afternoon, the bracket's mostly set.
That's what Kellogg meant, I think. And you're right.
There's a lot you got to do with moving stuff around. And so most of the work, you have to move a team out based on the bubble, that kind of thing. But I don't think at this time of year you're going from an 8 seed to a 5 or 6.
I don't think so either. And BJ, also, you can't play a team in your conference in round 1 or round 2. Yep. That's still a rule.
Yep. So that takes a lot of work too.
That's a big reason why it's a puzzle. You have to fit well. There's no way that if Wake Forest wins and Georgia Tech or whatever wins their first round, well, they can't play in the second round, so you can't put them here. So there's a lot of that finagling.
Which is why I don't think it gets moved.
That's why I kind of believe Kellogg on that. Yeah, they can move up, but he said not much. So, I mean, I want to see him play tomorrow. I want to see him play Utah State ultimately.
That'd be great.
I'd rather have if Boise State's going to get to the championship, just my personal entertainment factor, I'd like to see the Utah State game rather than San Diego State again. I don't want to tussle with the physicality of San Diego State if I'm Leon the game before the dance begins. But
you just saw New Mexico in person, a week and a half ago. What do you make of the squad Richard Pitino has?
Athletic, quick, they shoot. I believe their numbers are fairly good in shooting this year. Defense and size is their problem. Their best big guy is a freshman. And in the Mountain West, man, this is a grown man's league. Max Rice is 25. Cam Martin's 36. I'm kidding, but I mean, there's grown men in this league. I think it's harder, and Toppin's had such a terrific year, right?
Yeah.
But he is a freshman, and I think he has struggled against Omar, against Tyson, against Cam, against the bigs, and that's part of the reason New Mexico has struggled. But, BJ, you throw it all out this time of year, right? I mean, how much more confident are you that Boise State swept them this season, so they're going to win tonight?
That makes me almost less confident. I told you this morning on your show or whenever we talked that if they win tonight, they're winning the tournament. I really believe that.
You're double. I was going to tweet that, but I did it to save you. I just didn't want you to. if I tweeted in quotations what he said today, if Boise State wins tonight, they will win the Mountain West tournament. Quote, BJ Rains. If I would have tweeted that out, the fans and everybody that would have jumped on you, I saved it for you. So you paid for me and Prater to come down here.
That's a good
so
point.
At least I could do.
Cover me.
Because you'd be blowing up.
But when they win the tournament, I'd have a proof to.
You want me to tweet it out?
I don't.
You want this type of party?
No, I want the people that are watching to know that I said it.
He did.
They've heard me. They were listening to
you. If they win tonight, they'll win the tournament.
I just feel like this first game is the nervous one you got to get by. And once they get by tonight, I think they can beat Nevada or Colorado State. And it's now 62-49. Colorado State's up 13.
They're playing like, Nevada's has no worries whatsoever. And maybe they're playing like that as opposed to Colorado State. Does this maybe get them out of Dayton?
Who, Colorado State?
Yeah, deep run in this tournament. Can Colorado State get a bye?
Well, let's not forget for a good chunk of the non-conference season, like going into conference play, everybody thought Colorado State was the best team in the league.
Yep, and they can play it. They're long, they're athletic, and Stevens is an All-American point guard, and that's what we're seeing tonight down there. It was a very physical game too inside, and the refs. Your boy Bill Clinton, they were all over him.
That halftime call?
Oh, man. Yeah, that last play, wow, especially on Stevens, too. You call that on the best player in the league on just some garbage throw-up, but we'll see.
You feel pretty good about Boise State tonight, though.
I do. I'm comfortable thinking that we're going to get to see them and cover them again tomorrow. This team right now, I just feel like it's a bunch of grown-ups. They've prepared for the test. They've studied their ass off. And you guys know, I mean, it's rare in my life, but when you've studied for a test and you know you're ready for it, you walk into the classroom that day, right? You can't wait in my day for the teacher to pass out the Scantrons, and you're doing your thing. And I think Boise State's, they're ready for the test tonight. And they do know. Max has said it tight. I mean, they know they're going to the dance, BJ. They just do. They're not dumb. They know they're going, so maybe they're going to play like that with less pressure and try to win another one, man.
I haven't thought of Scantrons in about 15 years.
You got Scantrons. You had to go to the bookstore and buy them in college, remember?
Right,
or if you show up for the test and you're the total D-bag, you're like, hey, can I borrow a Scantron? And you're just like, damn, man, buy your own Scantrons.
Or a number 2 pencil.
And the number 2 pencil. And what do they do now? It's all online. I mean,
I think you probably take them on your computer or something. I don't know. They gave you Scantrons, bro. I had to buy mine.
I had to buy mine too. In Idaho, you don't get a Scantron. You got to go buy those at the bookstore when you get your books. You buy a whole pack of Scantrons, so you're good to go. But a lot of people show up, don't have them, so you got to bum them out.
Now, I know it's going to be cloudy tomorrow. I have confidence the rain's going to hold off or will be done by 10 a.m. It's going to be a little cloudy, a little cooler. It's not how we would draw it up, but we're going to be out there toughing it out. We're hoping fans still show up for the pool party. There's been a lot of people asking if we can get a replay of the football media days where we get a Johnny Ballgame cannonball.
Yeah.
I mean, are you doing this show shirtless?
I don't think the
weather
will
doing the show in a Speedo
that.
tonight or tomorrow? I mean, are you going to be in the pool at all during the pool party?
Dude, I forgot my swim trunks. That's bad, huh? Did you have any extra?
I got like 3. I got one pair.
Can I borrow a pair of trunks?
Or you don't have a pair of gym shorts or anything?
Dude, I'm not. No disrespect, but I can't wear your swim trunks, man. They won't fit, dude. I'm down like 23 pounds.
You know what? I'm looking.
I mean, look at this, man. I am looking good.
Kurt said I'm looking tired. It's actually just the bright light right in my eyes. I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
You should be tired, man. It's been a long day.
But you are looking good, man.
Thanks, bud.
I really do appreciate it. Any final thoughts before you get out of here, man?
I think Boise State playing with house money. Hopefully they'll play accordingly and dot their I's, cross their T's, play their style of ball, BJ, and they'll enjoy it. I don't know. I mean, it's not the end of the world if they lose. It's not, Schmidt, we're going to the NIT now. And BJ Rains is going to write all these stories about how good this team is and how great this NIT run is. Remember when you were on that NIT run? Oh, man.
I've covered some NIT games. I have.
Yeah. You got to get me out of here.
Yeah,
Am I contractually?
You got a couple minutes, but
what time do you contractually have to have me out?
In 4 minutes.
Okay.
You got a minute or two. Anybody got a final question for Johnny Ballgame?
Yeah, so let's come with some questions. Let's answer. Speed round.
My kids said you can borrow their swimsuit. I don't know. They're
how
not,
old?
They're 9, but they're not down here. So Let's see what else we got.
Oh, those are the Reigns boys?
Yeah, that's
right.
You're in Vegas. There's swim trunks everywhere, somebody said.
Yeah, $76 swim trunks.
Especially at Circa. I love Circa, but they don't have the cheapest the cheapest option there. It's now a 14-point game, by the way. 10 minutes
10 minutes left. Nevada's going to have one more big
How do you feel?
run.
How would you feel about Boise State, Colorado State tomorrow?
I actually think Boise State matches up better with Colorado State than I do Nevada. I do. I think Nevada's just got a lot of firepower, and BJ, the 3-point line. Is Nevada the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league this year? I think they were up there. I don't know where Colorado State is, but I guess Colorado State, they're going to be tough either way. You don't make it to the Mountain West semifinals and be like, oh, sweet, we got a good draw. Like, no. If you're in the Mountain West semifinals, you're playing basically a ranked opponent. You know, the Mountain West, these top 4 teams are top 25 teams for me, BJ, and that's what you're going to be.
Somebody's asking you how much you're bench pressing these days.
I haven't bench pressed in a while. I don't do the free weights, cardio stuff. You know, that type.
You were invited to a pool party. What is wrong with you for forgetting the swim trunks?
I know, man. I always forget something.
You got gym shorts or something?
Oh, here's the other thing I need to ask. You know that Mountain West?
I have it.
Yes, I left that.
I forgot to get. I grabbed it.
Thank you.
I went back to make sure we got it. We had everything. Johnny left his.
He's
Mountain
the
West.
best, man.
Yeah, I know.
He's the best.
I take care of you, man. I take care of you, Johnny. Appreciate you for coming up and stopping by, man. They want a final thing. Score prediction on the way out here.
Boise State 73. New Mexico 62.
Wow, double-digit win.
Yeah, is that ridiculous?
Wow.
Is that ridiculous?
Yeah, I was going to say like 73-70
She didn't like that call. She heard me.
The New Mexico fan.
She called me a moron.
Hey, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Hey, BNN's the best. If you guys, seriously, if you're watching this and you haven't quite subscribed yet, just give him the $50. He's doing more coverage than Boise State's seen in this form. This is the wave of the future. Vandal Nation News is coming soon. BJ's going to put his intern Jaden on it. He's going to captain the whole project. Stay tuned. Vandal Nation News.
Get out of here. Appreciate you, man. We'll see Johnny tomorrow at the pool party. Hey, we're going to hear from Richard Pitino, Leon Rice. We got a little time left here on the pregame show. I want to tell you about Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. And again, it's pretty simple. You just go to LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view that inventory of vehicles and then go test drive a few. Do what the Raines family did, and you're on your way in a couple hours. So thanks a lot, Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell. You need a job? Taco Bell is hiring. They'll pay you half your wages the very next day after your shift, and they'll give you free food while you work. TacoBellWorks.com. Check them out. The SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, all the freestanding Treasure Valley Taco Bell stores. We appreciate their support. And again, go check them out. TacoBellWorks.com. We saw Travis Hawks. Travis Hawks is like third row. Of course, he's got great seats right down there. I saw him right behind where the Boise State bench is going to be. He crashed our show this morning. We appreciate Travis Hawks and company. The Blue and Orange Store, the number one spot, the only spot you need to go to get your Boise State gear. Check it out, theblueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40. Or if you're at the Boise Town Square Mall there in the second floor next to Pro Image, you can check them out in person as well. We appreciate the Blue and Orange Store. Bronco Brew Coffee, BroncoBrew.coffee. Need some tonight. Going to be a late night in Boise, a late night here in Las Vegas. BroncoBrew.coffee. Again, roasted order coffee in many places in the Treasure Valley. It's at your doorstep within 24 hours of your order. Make sure you check them out. Help out Boise State Athletics. Help out the NIL game in the process and get some great tasting coffee at BroncoBrew.coffee. And certainly last but not least, Jeff Meinert, actually, by the way, with Transportation Compliance Service, called me up today and says, can you put $100 for me on red at the roulette wheel? And he's going to Venmo me $100. So we'll get some video and we'll post it all on red for the roulette spin. One time for Jeff Meinert, a Transportation Compliance Service. We'll see what happens. But if you need to get into the trucking industry, if you need a job, you can check out Transportation Compliance Service. And they are hiring, and they can help you every step of the way to get into the trucking industry. So, again, check them out at transcompservice.com. We got a nice crowd filing in. They're getting a drink. We're in one of the bar areas here behind me here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Looking forward to this one. It is 72-61. 8 minutes to go. Colorado State is up by 11 now as they look to clinch that spot in the semifinals tomorrow night. I mentioned Richard Pitino, Boise State, the game. They're going to match it up here in about an hour or so. Let's hear from 45 minutes maybe. Whenever this game ends, it'll be about 25 minutes after that. But let's hear from Richard Pitino last night after they beat Air Force.
Just be more tough, be more physical, provide more resistance, do a better job on Stanley and Degenhardt. They were too comfortable last game. Got to keep Buzo off the glass. He hurt us, so everybody's got to be ready. We've put ourselves in a position to go do something special, and 23 wins is great, and we got to get some rest, lock in, and see if we can go get one tomorrow because Boise's a terrific team. They're tough, and we've got to be tougher. Well, I'm eager to get some rest. I'm happy that we played great tonight. We'll go back, we'll watch some film, and we'll go play with amazing energy and spirit. We've got some of the best fans in the world that love to turn this into Pit West. Hopefully they can do that. And see if we've got a high level of respect for Boise, well coached, tough culture, have had a level of consistency that we're trying to build over time. And we've got to give them our best shot because they're really good.
There he is, Richard Pitino, last night after their win over Air Force. Again, get those score predictions in, get your thoughts in. $20 gift card to the Blue, where are we going? Taco Bell, I believe, for the $20 gift card based on whoever has the closest score prediction. Dub is offering to Venmo me if I buy a beer. I appreciate that. Maybe after the game, after they win. I'm not about to go over here to the Jack Daniels bar and get a drink right before the game. But after the game, later tonight, about 2 in the morning, or maybe tomorrow at the pool party, I may take you up on that, Dub. So appreciate the offer there. Really looking forward to hopefully seeing a lot of you guys at the pool party. I know most of the folks going to the pool party, you're probably at the game already in the stands and not watching this, and that's great. But we will take score predictions. Alexandra has 80-78. Let's see what else we got. 78-77. Ryan's got a real close game here. By the way, I like this setup. We appreciate Phil Perry, Teresa Kurtz, everybody at the Mountain West for hooking us up. Not a bad spot here to be right here in the bar. Luckily, the New Mexico fans either haven't recognized me or being nice to me so far because there's a lot of New Mexico fans really close by. None of them have we should have got the stick mic. We could have been asking the New Mexico fans their thoughts on the game. I don't know how. It's probably maybe tomorrow night we'll remember that for the next game, Jaden. But New Mexico fans are starting to hover. I may be in trouble here. We'll see. Mike has 76-71. Boise State. Chad's got 72-63. The Idaho Farmer has 77-70. Jason says he's seeing a lot of blue in the stands, by the way. So this is going to be a lot of fun. 72-61. There's a media timeout. 7:57 to go. Alexandra loves the confidence. Appreciate that. Thank you, as always, for watching. You can look for the real CEO of Bronco Nation News, Karen Rains. She is in the stands tonight with her mom and brothers, and the crew is here. So my kids are down in Florida with the grandparents checking out some spring training baseball. I don't think they're staying up till midnight to watch this one. But we now have some New Mexico chants going on in the background. It's starting to get a little bit rowdy here. So we are going to jump off here in a couple of minutes. Distract them with a sandwich. She'll be okay. That's funny. 82-75 is another score prediction coming in here. So tough game for Boise State. I'm not going to lie. I don't have a ton of confidence in Boise State in this one. And I hope I'm coming on the post-game show saying I was dead wrong. That usually is what happens whenever I have a bad feeling. Boise State usually wins. I just don't have a great feeling. I think New Mexico is coming in off the win yesterday, feeling great. They got confidence, and this is a scary game for Boise State, in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm going to come out and 100% predict they're going to lose. I just don't feel super confident in predicting them to win either. So it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be a close game. You just got to hope New Mexico is not hot from the outside. If New Mexico's hitting their shots, it's going to be really tough tonight. Mashburn is not out, according to Jason was asking. No, Mashburn played yesterday. He's fine. He was just sick last week. That's why he did not play in that game. So they did play Air Force. Come on. I agree. I know Air Force isn't very good, but, hitting threes and hitting shots is hitting shots regardless of who you're playing. So there is something to getting a chance to play in the arena, get your feet wet, get that good feeling going into this game. And as I said, I was on Boise State's flight. They've been sitting around Las Vegas for 48 hours. waiting to play this game. So there's just some nervous energy early in the game, and it is what it is. I do agree, though, with Mike Prater's column, and you can go read that at BroncoNationNews.com. Boise State is pretty much playing with house money tonight. They don't have much at all to lose. I'm sure maybe a seed line, maybe something like that. But, I mean, how many times can we say in the last 11 years that I've been covering this league that Boise State knew going into the tournament they were guaranteed to be in the NCAA tournament no matter what? Once, twice, maybe, not very often. So I think it was the 2 years they won the league, 14 and then 20, or 15 and 22 were the only 2 times where you knew for sure that they were in. So it is what it is. New Mexico has a lot of pressure on them as well. They know they have to win this game. Jason's asking about the officials. I don't remember one of them, but I know one of them is Greg Nixon. He's done a lot of games. He's the guy that looks like Liam Neeson. And then Nate Harris. So two pretty solid refs. I don't remember much about the third guy. I think he did the game in Logan earlier this year, and that was not a particularly well officiated game. So we'll see what happens on that one. But we're going to jump off of here. Appreciate you guys. The rowpaint.com postgame show is coming up after the game. It'll be about 30 minutes. I know it's going to be late, but we have to do the press conference. We get some one-on-one interviews. It's got to be quick, but it's going to take a little bit. Hope you'll stay up with us, have some coffee. We will have the rowpaint.com postgame show. But we will have a post-game show after the game. It's just going to take about 30 minutes because we have to do the post-game press conference and get our interviews, and then we'll be courtside post-game. We'll fire it up as soon as we can. Stay with us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X. So, again, it was not cheap to come down here. If you're able to help us out with a subscription, BNN50 deal is that promo code. You see it at the bottom of the screen. We would love your support. $6.99 a month, or, again, you can get $50 for a full year using the BNN50 deal promo code at the bottom of the screen. And again, we helped pay for KTIK to get Johnny and Prater down here. We have our intern Jaden down here who's doing an outstanding job already helping us out. So these trips and this coverage is not free. If you're able to help us out, we would really appreciate a subscription to Bronco Nation News. You can read Mike Prater's column, and he'll have a column after the game tonight. Exclusive column from Mike Prater post-game for subscribers at Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys. We got to get packed up and get down courtside and get ready for the game. Again, we'll talk to you on the rowpaint.com post-game show about 30 minutes after the game. Big one for Boise State, quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament. And you can follow us on Twitter, at BNN Bronco Nation, at BJ Rains on Twitter. We'll have videos, photos, stats, tweets, all kinds of stuff throughout the game. And then we'll join you on the post-game show, the rowpaint.com post-game show, coming up about 30 minutes after the game. Enjoy the games, folks. Go get another Cutwater. Grab 2 Cutwaters, actually. Have one for me. I'm jealous. And we'll talk to you after the game. Bronco Nation News live here at BroncoNationNews.com.